And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray. Rock Cod Rick Maxa is on his way to Puerto Vallarta to go on our journeyman trip in Puerto Vallarta with his group of anglers there. Going to have a great time. In the studio with me, one of the great Southern California sport fishermen, Greg Stotesbury from Aftco Manufacturing. Going to talk about all the great new clothing, the new line of great equipment that they have, and more, and talk about fresh and saltwater fishing. You stay tuned. Southern California Sport Fishing Voices. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
If you love to cast surface iron and other jigs, plus fish the Shimano Waxwing, there has never been a reel that was made for the job until now. Shimano is proud to introduce Tranx, the dream reel for casting and retrieving lures, smoothness, castability, and powerful gears. Tranx has it all, plus the Shimano X-Ship feature for superior smoothness, increased power, and phenomenal gear life. Match all this up with 25 pounds of max drag and the game is over. Tranx has a low-profile design for ergonomic comfort and the variable brake system. Super free spool and level wind will allow you more consistent casting. Unbelievable distance and line management. No more line piling up on one side on your retrieve. Tranx can actually make a better jig fisherman out of you. Stop by your local Shimano dealer to see it for yourself. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Experience Tranx on a Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminar or the next casting contest.
I am an angler, a heroic defender of the noble sport of fishing. When I go out with my crew, we're prepared for everything, from itty-bitty mosquitoes to the biggest bass you've ever seen. Not to mention, we all wear life jackets. And with this year's drought conditions, we're also defending every last drop of water, saving lives and saving water, because the best defense is a good offense. Just don't tell the fish that.
Take your hero quiz at BoatCalifornia.com. A message from the California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
The offshore fishing last year was some of the best we've seen in years. Let's hope our luck keeps up in 2015. It's a brand new year, and what better way to kick off a new year than with a new Ford? Once again, Ford is America's favorite brand. Just take a look at last year's sales figures. It's right there in black and white. It's easy to see why Ford is so popular. Styling is contemporary, the technology is state-of-the-art, and the fuel economy is more impressive than ever. Fusion, Focus, and Escape continue to be San Diego favorites, and the new Mustang has the entire city buzzing. You've got to check it out. Right now, you'll find the biggest savings on F-150 pickups. The last of the 2014 models are going fast. And talk about popular, Ford F-Series has been America's best-selling truck and a favorite among fishermen for almost 4 decades. In fact, a new F-Series truck is sold every 43 seconds. Imagine catching a fish every 43 seconds. You'd be popular too. Start the new year in style. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here. As I said, Rock Cod Rick Max is on his way to the airport to hop on an Alaska Airlines flight, a nonstop flight out of San Diego directly to Puerto Vallarta, and go on the Journeyman. He'll be on the Journeyman this afternoon and headed to the Big Fish Zone, which is not far from Puerto Vallarta, going on a 2.5 day with a group of Let's Talk Hookup anglers. And a guy who knows the big fish zones, whether it be in fresh and saltwater, is our buddy Greg Stotesbury from Aftco. Nice to have you, Greg.
Yeah, good morning, Pete. Nice to be here.
We're talking about what an amazing summer this was, and it continues. Water warm, big fish still around, right?
Yeah, it's been amazing how much fish is still here. And the yellowtail are all big. I mean, this is all big adult fish, and it's not just out front here, but, I mean, I know my brother got on the fish yesterday, and Dave Elm from our shop, he and Matt Quinnell were out and got a couple of 30-pounders up there at Box Canyon, and it's just flat weather and beautiful conditions and 30-pound yellowtail and big sea bass to pull on.
Yeah,
you got to
love in January 70-degree temperatures, flat, calm water, just amazing fishing conditions. And it's cool, too, because we had the seminar yesterday at Dana Landing and Fastlane Kayaks, and a lot of guys are going out fishing, which is great. You know, of course, the big Bay Bass tournament next Saturday, but a lot of guys are still offshore fishing, you know, all those day-and-a-half runs. And, you know, Cortez Bank still has a few bluefin around. And,
yeah, I heard that.
You know, it's really, really a fun time this winter with that warmer water.
Yeah, you know, we're staying there in Del Mar, as I was telling you. We're right on the beach there, and there was a little fleet of boats out in front of Del Mar. There was, of course, when I came down Friday afternoon, there was a huge fleet of boats out in front of Box Canyon, and just boats scattered here and there, and they're kind of in that distance off the beach where you know they're fishing the slope out there. They're fishing the edge and, you know, whatever it is, 40 fathoms or wherever the fish are at. And, yeah, it's just fun to see. I mean, guys are still running their boats, and, you know, launch ramps are busy, and it's all good for us.
Yeah, it's all good. So what's happening at Aftco?
Well, we've as usual been very, very busy. The Aftco clothing line is growing like crazy, as is the Guy Harvey. We just introduced our newest catalog for the Aftco side clothing, and just tons of new functional gear, lots of new board shorts, lots of things in the whole sun protection performance shirt range. Lots of hooded shirts and new patterns, a lot of camo pattern stuff. On my side, on the hardware side, we've got some new gloves we're coming out with, new big flying gaff, some assorted rod parts that we've got coming out, a new lighter weight rod belt for the light tackle guys, more of a price point type of deal. So we're busy as always.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy that the fuel prices are down, as we were just talking about. And
how nice is that?
I just returned from a show in North Carolina with one of our largest distributors, and, you know, talked to, I don't know, they get like 1,200 dealers to come into this thing, and even back there, pretty much up and down the coast, you know, fisheries are pretty good. There's some regulation issues down in the south with red snapper and amberjack and some of that have people sour. But for the most part, this low fuel cost and generally good fishing has got guys in my business. They're excited. Everyone's very encouraged by what they're seeing.
You see fishing in all parts of the world and all parts of the United States. How would you stack our fishery up here when it's a year-round fishery like we have to other fisheries in the United States?
Well, you know, of course, you can't beat the weather here, and you can run your boat this time of year when a lot of people have their boats, you know, wrapped in cellophane and basically winterized back there till May.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got that side of it. I will say, though, that in most parts of the country, where I deal the most, in the Gulf, in South Florida, and then on up through the Carolinas and into the Mid-Atlantic, they have tremendous fishing there. But it's like a lot of places, you know, there's a whole bunch of places in the country that are great from May to October. But, you know, we were yesterday standing on the beach, walking down the beach there in Del Mar and looking out at boats fishing, and I'm standing there in shorts and slippers and a T-shirt. How can you beat that?
Yeah, no, it's pretty special that what we have here. But it's funny to me that everybody always kind of focuses and talks about, and fishing is big back there. I mean,
it's huge, many times bigger than
here. Times bigger than here. And sometimes I scratch my head and go, wow, it should be that big here.
Yeah,
and it's getting there.
It's getting there, but you know what they have, Pete, that we don't, is they have the intercoastal, and they have so much more inland water and places to store boats on the water.
Yes.
We don't have that. I mean, we have relatively few harbors.
Yes.
They do have a lot of rough weather back there, but they also have tremendous inshore fishing. I mean, the striped bass, the redfish, the sea trout, the flounder, that stuff goes literally from New York all the way around to Texas.
Yeah.
And
it's a good fishery.
And it's an excellent fishery, and all kinds of fish in there with line from 8 to 20 pound tests, catching fish up to 25, 30 pounds.
Which because they don't have to go in the ocean, keeps people on the water.
Keeps people on the water and has people in boats and in every size and description of boat you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then in the bigger areas of the offshore fishery, where you got the Gulf Stream that comes close, places like Stewart, Florida, or Oregon Inlet or Hatteras or those places, they have phenomenal fishing. But again, May to October. That's it.
Yeah.
Their season at Labor Day. If it's not made then, it's done.
Yeah.
So here,
interesting.
We get a much longer season, but just the general enthusiasm and the outdoor activity. Like I always tell people, when I travel back east, especially in Florida and those places, fishing is a lifestyle back there.
Yes.
Here, it's a fringe activity.
Yes.
Back there, it is. I mean, you're driving down the freeway in Florida on 95, and you see giant Rapala billboards and Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and it's just, again, it's a lifestyle thing. fishing and hunting and outdoor activities back there. And here in California, we got a lot of people, but
there's too much to do here. Is that why?
I think there's just a lot of distractions and a lot of things for people to do. But the hardcore fishing crowd here, even though there's a lot of us that love to fish, it's only spread over a very short area of coastline. Back there, you've got thousands of miles of guys that are fishing in everything from 13-foot tin boats to 60-foot sport fishers.
How cool would it be someday to see a Rapala billboard on I-5? Maybe not.
I'd like
to
see that day.
I'm not sure. So you're talking about some of the new clothing from Aftco and some of the new technical stuff. Now, of course, my Aftco performance wear is what I wear and travel with and fish with all the time. The charcoal lining on the Aftco, that is just an amazing thing, especially when you're in the tropics.
Yeah, it really helps when you're in the tropical weather and you're sweating and all that. It's great stuff. There's so much new fabric that's come out, and the technology that our guys are now building into everything we make, like the new Stealth Board shorts. The one that's got this, the 4-way stretch fabric and everything. Yeah. Those things are awesome. I mean, they're comfortable to wear. Things like waterproof zippers and hidden pockets and pliers pockets and, fabrics that are comfortable in the tropics and all that. That's what our line is all about. It's really all kind of falls under the heading of performance. And, we borrow a lot of that from the action sports industry, the surfwear industry and all that. They have a lot of fabrics that guys use for snowboarding and for different activities that are unrelated to fishing that our designers who came from that industry primarily have now brought it into our clothing line. And so we've got some really cool stuff that we're coming out with. I mean, it's
like
really
what?
fun.
Can you talk about it?
I can talk about a lot of it. I mean, just a lot of the performance fabrics now that we're sublimating on, that we're printing on. I'm talking about in shirts with attached sun hoods on them, like the Ninja. We've got a new one coming out called the Samurai. A lot of that kind of stuff is the fabric's getting lighter and more comfortable and fits great. But, the SPF protection's still there in it. But it's getting to where all of that stuff is so comfortable, so easy to wear that, the thought of wearing a long-sleeve cotton T-shirt like I've got on right now, I don't even think about it anymore. When I go on the boat, you got to have performance gear.
You got to have performance gear.
Yeah.
And what's nice is the sun protection. People are much more aware about sun protection, how important that is. And it's funny because on many of the Let's Talk Hookup trips, I'll bring an Aftco face mask for everybody. And they've never worn them before. But by the end of the trip, everybody's wearing one and go, God, I had no idea how these not only protect you from the sun, but they keep you cool in the hot weather.
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah.
They definitely do. I mean, I wear one on every trip now. I mean, all of us that are getting on in years and have spent a lot of time on the water know that it's cumulative. I mean, all the time you spend in the sun just adds up toward, causing you problems with your skin later on. But with the sun mask, you keep the sun completely off you, keeps your hat from flying off, and protects your face from the wind and all those kinds of things. And I'm kind of the same way. I mean, everywhere I go back east, the guys back east wouldn't even think of being on the water without full sun protection gear.
Yes.
So that's really been neat to see it, take hold out here. But the thing is, the fabrics, as they've gotten better and more comfortable to wear, guys are more anxious to wear that stuff. But, a lot of it is what they see other people wearing and doing on the boat is what they want to do. The casual angler wants to wear what the professional guy's wearing, and those guys are wearing the stuff that works for a reason. They're on the water every day.
Every day. So does it cross over into the freshwater world, too? I know Aftco's very strong in saltwater.
It does, big time. We've made this push the last several years. We have what we call our Aftco pros, which are industry professionals and captains and guys that I have on our pro staff team. And all of those guys now, we've got now mostly saltwater guys, but we're starting to get some real hardcore freshwater guys that are fishing the FLW series and local tournaments and even the Elite series and, traveling around the country. Those guys are all wearing sun protection now.
Yeah.
Everyone from the Kevin Van Dams on down the line. If you see those guys now, they've all got sun protection gear on.
They know.
So our freshwater guys are pushing that stuff big time.
Yeah.
They love that Ninja shirt where they can pull the hood up. They still have the long sleeve sun protection, but they can take the hood up and down as needed and protect themselves from the sun.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's talk about hardware, because that's where Aftco started.
Absolutely.
And you're still there in a strong way. The new fiberglass gaffs, love those.
Yeah.
Those are just, they're state of the art.
We've done really well with those things.
Yeah.
Really well. They're 20% lighter than the aluminum. They're flexible. They bend. And a lot of guys still love the aluminum. Aluminum's great. Nothing wrong with it. It's pretty. It looks good on the boats. It's very, very tough. But the fiberglass stuff has been really successful. Guys like them. They're light and easy to handle. And
the grip, the rope grip is just fantastic. Really gets it going.
Yeah, we do that tuna cord wrap down the, I think 3 or 4 feet of the gaff there, so you got a lot of area to hold on to. It's easy to grip onto, and then Turk's heads on each end so it doesn't slip out of your hand. But gaff business has been good. You know, as fishing and boating goes, so goes our gaff and accessory business.
Right.
Our harness business has been tremendous, especially that number 1 Max Force harness, the sit-in style harness.
That is a great harness.
Yeah, it's been really fun to catch some
super
big
lightweight.
Fish. Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
I had it in Puerto Vallarta last year for that big fish, and it was tremendously comfortable, even going around the boat 6 times. And
how big was that fish you caught in Puerto Vallarta?
Well, it taped at 292.
292.
Yeah,
that's a nice one.
It was a good sized fish. The very first bait I put in the water.
First bait in the water. So what belt did you match with that Max Force?
I used the Clarion belt, which is our biggest belt.
The big belt, yeah.
And it was super comfortable. I mean, I'm a homer. It's my company and our stuff that we make. But I can just tell you, I've worn everything over the years, and I've had everything from the old Taniguchis back in the day and everything in between.
Me too.
Our stuff's really super comfortable. It's comfortable to wear for a long length of time, and you don't get the hot spots and the chafing and all that. When the harness is worn correctly, like I tell guys, it's not a muscle thing. It's a technique and proper equipment thing.
Yeah.
If you have that stuff, rigged up properly and down low enough, you have the harness where it's supposed to be, you don't have to be a strong man to pull on a big tuna. I mean, I was warm, and I was kind of worn out from running around the boat 6 times and trying to get around the pulpit and everything. But other than that, I could have pulled for another 2 hours.
Yeah,
I mean, that was no problem.
And it is a marathon. When you're fishing big fish, you've got to be set in for the marathon. You see so many people that wear themselves out at the beginning of the fight, and then they have nothing left when it really counts. And that's what a good belt and harness really helps you achieve. Right?
Makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
We had a couple of our friends on the boat that are big time long range guys, very, very good fishermen, and they had the longer rail type tackle, no belt and harness. And we're on a 58 Hatteras that really didn't lend itself to rail fishing. It's not like a sport boat where you have a high railing. And these guys pulled on 150-pound fish for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and got crushed using 7-foot ring guided rods and trying to lay them on the railing. Here I am, the old guy with an old 6-foot, roller guided rod with a pad and harness and a Talica 52 speed, and no problem.
Yeah,
comfortable.
Indeed, I really like the Socorro belt. I have the Clarion belt and the Socorro belt. I really like Socorro because I'm a little smaller guy.
Right.
But it's a little lighter, a little smaller, and it just fits my body. But that's the nice thing about what you guys make is you make different sizes.
Exactly. And we got guys that fish different sizes of tackle and people that have different body sizes. And we sell more Socorros than any other belt.
Yeah.
That's by far our most popular because it covers everything really from 30 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
But that big Clarion belt, it's all about spreading out the load when you get into the real heavy tackle. I think I was using somewhere in the 30s on the drag range on that reel on that big fish. At the end, I was 37 pounds on the scale.
Wow.
So, but again, it's not a muscle thing. You've done this before.
Yes.
But you get that pad down low enough and get the harness adjusted properly with the right tackle, and you can do that.
Yes.
But it's all about having the right gear and wearing it properly.
And with the advent of the popularity of rail fishing for big fish, too, you can do both with that equipment because you can get in and out of it very rapidly.
Exactly. We've got those quick-release hooks now that we rig standard on the Max Force harness. And, on this boat, I had to get in and out of the harness a lot to get around the pulpit of this big Hatteras. And it made it really easy. I mean, I could slack the harness up and drop the hooks out and be ready to go,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. Fantastic opportunity to talk to one of the best fishermen around and talk about some great clothing from Aftco, some of the hardware from Aftco. Greg is heavily involved with the sheds. Bill Shedd, who's one of the pioneers and great supporters of the fishing industry, building the right tackle for Southern California anglers. And if you want to join us, toll free, 877-792-1090. Or you want to join us on our local line open there at 858-457-1090. And since we're talking about the Max Force harness and the Clarion belt, let's give one away, along with a pair of the long-range short punt fishing gloves. The whole setup for the big fish angler there, courtesy of Aftco, and that's about what? About a $300 or $400 setup, right?
Oh
there?
yeah, it's all of that. It's a $300 setup at least. That's a good package of stuff. It's the exact package that I wore down in Puerto
Vallarta. In honor of Greg being here, we're going to give that away today. So if you want to get through, have a chance to win the ultimate big fish belt and harness, along with the long range short pump gloves. Love those things.
Oh yeah, they're the best.
Super comfortable.
Protect the hands when you're wearing the braided line.
Yeah, for sure. And when we come back, your phone calls at 877-792-1090 at 858-457-1090. Stay tuned. We have more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way right here on the Mighty 1090.
If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com. Your hook is one of the most important parts of your fishing tackle, and that is why you should use the hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation. Gamakatsu. As Japan's leading hook manufacturer and growing at an amazing pace, Gamakatsu is responsible for introducing a unique tempering process to give Gamakatsu hooks superior strength and durability. Plus, the conically needle-honed points stay sharp. Gamakatsu offers a hook for every fishing situation, including the finest one-piece ringed hooks, light wire, standard and heavy-duty live bait hooks, and the popular Nautilus circle hooks. Get Gamakatsu hooks at your favorite tackle store and stay connected to that fish of a lifetime.
Cast Tours is a family-owned and operated travel company that specializes in taking you to great fishing destinations. They take pride in providing the best and most affordable vacation packages available. For over 20 years, Cast Tours has been creating unique sport fishing and vacation trips. Whether it's a fishing trip, a family vacation, or an adventure, they will provide you the service and value you deserve. Call Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or check casttours.com.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Talking about Aftco clothing, Aftco hardware here. And if you want to join us, only one line left open. You want to get through, have a chance to win that Max Force 1 harness. That's the sit-in style. That is the perfect style, and matched with the ultimate Clarion belt and a pair of Aftco long-range short punt fishing gloves. That's the ultimate big fish outfit for you. And you got one chance right now as we go here at 877-792-1090 is open right now. Let's go ahead and start things off this morning with Cliff in Lakewood. Good morning, Cliff.
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing terrific.
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, I was on a journeyman last year, and I saw the kite setup work and blew up on the fish. Oh, man, I just loved it. I want to know, does your kite setup work for a private boat, and what does it come with?
Yeah, it does. As a matter of fact, Cliff, it works great on private boats. We've got a kite kit that we sell that comes with two different sets of sticks for the full range of wind from about, I'm going to say 4 knots up to about 20 knots of wind. Our kite will fly in. But yeah, we sell a kit with the kite in it, and like I say, the 2 sets of sticks, the repair kit, the whole deal. And then separately, we sell a kite clip kit, which is two release clips that you can rig on a kite rod. We don't sell the kite rods or the reels or any of that stuff. But, yeah, we sell the whole release clip kit and the kite kit, everything you need but the rod and reel.
Very cool. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, and I keep one on my boat all the time. You just never know. Like you get into a nice picky tuna bite or picky bluefin bite or something like that. Even yellowtail eat it when they're up on the surface, man.
Yeah, no, I know guys are using the kite regularly now.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, in the East Coast, it's a bigger deal.
Everybody fishes the kite back.
Yeah. and now people are starting to get it here, right?
They are.
Yeah.
It's taken a while, but, for all this tuna fishing and everything here, that kite fishing's fantastic because you can use, heavier leader and keep the leader out of the water and get the picky fish to bite.
Yeah. And, Cliff, you got to see how exciting that kite fishing is firsthand.
Oh, boy, did I ever. That was so exciting seeing the fish just jump up and grab them baits. Oh, man.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And a lot of guys, a lot of the guys that have yachts up here, they take them down to Cabo or Point South for the winter. Everybody's having kites now.
Yeah, and everybody's into it now. I'm actually taking kites down when we go to Cabo here in a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's going to be one of our main strategies is fishing the kite bait.
It's very, very effective. Cliff, thanks a lot for the call. What's different about your kite versus other kites?
The main thing with our kite, Pete, is it's waterproof and it's pretty much indestructible. And when you fly a kite, you're going to crash the kite because the wind's going to change. You're going to forget. You're going to get slack in the line. There's different things that happen kite fishing where you're going to have a kite disaster. And ours is they're single-piece spars. In other words, the sticks that hold the kite open are single-piece, so they're very, very strong. They won't break. And then the kite itself is made out of waterproof nylon sailcloth, ripstop nylon sailcloth. So it's super durable. And especially if you're a beginner in kite fishing, again, you're going to crash the kite. If you crash the cotton kite, it's done. You got to put it away because they load up with salt, and when they're wet, they don't fly generally. Some of them in real heavy wind will fly, but ours will fly. No problem. I've flown it in the rain and caught sailfish on it in the rain.
Wow.
So it's it'll fly when other guys won't. The other thing is we fly really good in super light wind.
Yeah.
I mean, I've flown it in as little as 3 or 4 knots of wind.
Wow.
So.
And there's a really good description on the Aftco website of how to put it all together, how to set it all up.
Yeah, there is. And it comes with the kite kit. I did like a 3,000-word instructional on everything you need to know about how to fly the kite and how to rig your fly line. And, the guys that are really getting into it now are starting to use the electric reels for retrieving the thing.
Yeah.
And that new Beastmaster that Shimano's got there. And for that kind of fishing with a kite, it's nice because you just hit the button and it pulls the kite in when you hook a fish.
You're all done.
Yeah.
What about on a small boat, like your boat, my boat? A lot of guys are using it kind of trolling with them, right?
Oh, yeah, you can troll with them.
Yeah,
you can troll with them. And
slow troll live baits?
You can slow troll live baits. You can fast troll and put a yummy flyer out or put a squid chain underneath the thing.
Uh-huh.
And, the key with that is if you know your boat and know, what side you prefer to fish off of with the kite, like on my boat, I have the kite rigged to fly on the starboard side where I can look over my shoulder and easily see it from the fly bridge. But I rigged a plug-in down there, and I've got the electric reel and everything on it. And, we can fly that thing along with our normal spread of 5 baits, 2 in the outrigger and 3 flat. I can put a kite bait out and be skipping a squid or a yummy flyer underneath it. And, you don't necessarily always get bit on it, but when you do, it's usually a good one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you saying you could troll that at a regular speed?
Yeah, normal speed. The only thing you can't do is you can't troll downwind when the wind's blowing harder than the speed you're trolling at.
Yeah.
So you've got to be aware of that. But, once you get used to it, the kite will swing around and it'll stay flying. As long as you don't turn and charge downwind, you won't crash the kite. As long as you're going upwind or cross the wind, the kite just kind of moves around back there and flies and does its thing. And because the line is held up above your other trolling lines, you don't have any interference issues.
Oh, okay.
So it's a great way to go.
Yeah, and like you say, you said a 3,000-word dissertation basically on how the proper use of the Aftco kite is available when you buy the kite or on your website.
On the website, yeah. Because a kite it's not easy to fish. It's like a downrigger, only more complicated. There's a lot to kite fishing. It can be very, very frustrating until you learn how to do it, but super effective once you get on it and figure it out.
Sorry. And for our species here, what would you catch?
Bluefin tuna, yellowfin tuna, dorado, striped marlin. If the conditions are right, pretty much everything that's offshore will bite the kite is good or better than they'll bite anything else. And if you're into live bait fishing, like if you're drifting and chumming and catching bluefin and yellowfin like that phenomenal.
Or yellowtail or whatever.
Yeah, or yellowtail like that fishing we had this year, absolutely perfect for the kite. We did the kite thing a couple times out at Clemente, and it's just super effective. A lot of times you didn't need it. The fishing was so good.
Yeah, it was so good this year.
In our boat, we catch a few fish, we're done. But
like you say, a lot of times you get the big one that way,
You
too.
do. You get the bigger fish that's boat shy, that doesn't want to come in close. And, he's the one that bites your long soak bait on 20-pound and spools you. That guy, you can put a kite bait out on 50 with 60 or 80-pound fluorocarbon leader and a back-hooked mackerel, and you get that guy on that tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 877-792-1090 open right now. You want to get through, have a chance to talk to Greg. There it is. Let's talk to Matt in La Mesa. Hi, Matt. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Greg.
Morning.
Hey, last year I was on a 7-day, and it was late September, really hot weather. And I'm wondering, what do you guys have in the way of the 4-ply shorts, and how do they compare against, say, Fishworks?
You know, our 4-way stretch short is our stealth short is a great short for that kind of fishing. It's great in the heat. I've worn it in the tropics many times. You know, we have nice big pockets and good zippers, and it's a super well constructed short. So it's the kind of short that's going to last you for a lot of years. And there's a lot of great product out there on the market, but if you want something that's got everything, it's got the 4-way stretch and the proper weight of fabric and all the right pockets in the places where you're going to need them. You know, that's all I can say. That stealth short or our traditional short that we've sold for, I mean, we've been doing this stuff now for, 20 plus years, 25 years. And we were the first ones to make a custom designed short just for fishing.
Yeah.
Way before anybody else came along.
The MO1.
The MO1 short.
Yeah.
We still sell thousands of those things.
Oh, yeah.
Many thousands of those things because the short works.
It is.
I mean, it works
very
good.
Popular short.
Yeah, and there's other guys out there wearing swim trunks or stuff copied from the surf industry, and they slap a pliers pocket on it and call it a fishing short, and that's great. It works for people. But if you want stuff that is designed all the way from the beginning of how the fabric's sourced to how it's sewn to pockets that have been engineered over 20-some years plus of use on the water, then
that's what you guys
buy
do.
Some of our shorts.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really I come back to when I wear Aftco shorts all the time is that the pockets are all in the right place. You got to have pockets. You
Yes.
got to have the right pliers pocket. You got to have the right place to put your cell phone, your wallet, whatever you're going to put in your pockets. The pockets, to me, are very important, as well as like the flexibility of the fabric, the coolness of the fabric, like with that bamboo charcoal lining.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
having the proper zippers in it and the right stretch in the right places.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the main thing I can tell you there, Matt. Is we've been doing this longer than anybody else. We invented the pliers pocket in shorts.
Yeah,
and we all spend a lot of time or a fair amount of time on the water wearing what we build. So
yeah.
That's about the best I can say about it.
No doubt about it. Matt, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Let's go to Santa Cruz. Talk to Henry. Good morning, Henry.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Had a question about. I was in a kind of a fancy Japanese pro shop, and they had a spin harness. And I looked at it, and I know the guy who owns it. And he goes, "No, you don't want to do that. Go get an Aftco. They work great. They're much better value." And that Max Force shoulder harness looked like it might be the thing to use if you're using a spinning rod.
It is.
It's like a heavy spinning rod.
It is. We've got tons of guys now back east that are jigging with this heavy spinning tackle, and they're doing it for everything from giant bluefin tuna to amberjack and everything in between. And they're using our Max Force 2 shoulder harness, and they're using our spin strap wrapped around the foregrip with the double rings, and then they snap into that just like you would snap a heavy harness into the lugs on a big game fishing reel, on a conventional reel. And man, you can pull hard with that spinning gear. I mean, I just had the other day I had a guy send me some pictures of a 300 and some pound bluefin tuna that he caught on spinning gear with a big Stella spinning reel and 80-pound Spectra, and that's what he's using. He's using our harness and our spin strap, and they snap in and go to town with that spinning rod.
Boy, I'm going to have to get one of those for Panama next month.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've got friends on the Cape, and they're going after 350, 400-pound tuna with spinning reels.
Yes.
And you might not need it for most of the tuna you catch out here, but if you latch in a 150-pound bluefin, it'd be kind of nice to have a harness that would work well.
Yeah, and the spin strap, which is a little part that we make. It's kind of a simple looking little thing. It's just a little piece of nylon webbing about 8 inches long with 2 D-rings on it. And it just wraps around the foregrip of your spinning rod and gives you a place to snap the harness into. Because remember, with spinning gear, you got no reel lugs. You can't snap in unless you have some kind of an adaptation. And that's the way to do it. No, you can't use the reel at all. But once you get that thing harnessed up, because the spinning reel is under the rod, you have a lot less torque and a lot less difficulty keeping the rod and reel in the proper position, because all the load is underneath the rod instead of over the top when you've got conventional gear.
So do you use a belt with it?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you use like a lot
like
of guys like the Alejos belt.
The Alejos belt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't have quite the pressure down there that you would when you're using conventional gear. It's just a little bit of different geometry.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Alejos or even the Socorro if you're pulling on big fish.
Yeah. And so what you want is the Max Force 2 shoulder harness.
Yes.
And then the the strap.
The spin strap.
The spin strap.
Spin strap.
That's
and we
what you
sell it in
wanna
a little
order.
package, and it's, I don't know, I think it's $15 at retail or something like that.
Yeah.
And
a lot of the local tackle stores here would have it. If they don't, they can order it.
if they don't, you can easily order it online.
Yeah. there you
Aftco
go.
spin strap.
All right. Thanks a lot for the call, Henry. Appreciate that very much. That does free up a toll-free line at 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Ernie calling us from Vista. Good morning, Ernie.
Morning, Pete. Morning.
Morning.
I just got a quick question. I was also down on the journeyman trip with you in December, and I noticed that you had on those shorts with the charcoal lining.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a guy that can wear the board shorts. I'm just not shaped the right way. Anyway, I was wondering if the Aftco had plans on, supplying some of or adding some of the older tuck shorts with the charcoal lining in them.
We've got that fabric now in several different models of shorts, and what I would suggest you do is if you go to the website at aftco.com and look on there under fishing shorts, they list the materials that we use in the specific shorts, whether it's 4-way stretch. We have that Mind Stretch fabric, which is new that we're using now. We've also got the bamboo charcoal in several models of shorts now. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's in, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 models of shorts now.
Okay.
So it's the website is the best place to see the latest and greatest, unless you can get your hands on one of our latest clothing catalogs.
Yeah.
That catalog just came out a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So go to the website and look on there, and it'll show that charcoal fabric and what shorts we make it in. And this stuff is great for the tropics, as you know. I'm sure Pete told you. So look on the website there, and it'll give you all the details on it.
And at the upcoming Fred Hall shows, Long Beach and Del Mar, you'll be there showing off some of the line.
Oh,
you won't
yeah.
have it all, of course, but you'll have a lot.
We'll have a ton of it, especially
Yeah.
at the one up in Long Beach. You'll be able to walk in and check out all that stuff, and if you like it, you can buy it right there on the spot.
Hard to believe that's just about 5 or 6 weeks away, right?
Yes, it is.
Indeed. Hey, Ernie, great time. And, of course, hopefully you saw that YouTube video I put together with of our Journeyman adventure there. It's on our YouTube channel. Did you get a chance to view it?
Yes, I sure did. It was great. I couldn't believe I was seeing myself on YouTube, but it was great.
There you go.
Hey, Pete, could I say hello to my good friend Cliff? I just heard him on there, and I had a great time with him out there, too, on the journey. So.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm sure Ricky's on his way to a great adventure aboard Journeyman. It's such a great operation, and look forward to next year.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, Ernie, for the call. Appreciate that very much. Yeah. Check out our YouTube channel. I finished that video about a week ago from our adventure in December there. We had pretty darn good fishing. Not a lot of big ones, but we managed to catch some big ones. A lot of guys got their personal best on that trip, and then an epic snapper bite. The easiest way to find our YouTube channel, of course, is subscribe. Just subscribe. Let's Talk Hookup Radio Show. But if you go to the front page of our website, hookup1090.com, and you click on the red icon at the top right, it's kind of right above Ricky's head. I'm looking at the website right now. You click on that red icon, it goes right to our YouTube channel. You can check out that video and more, and we've got more to come, and as well as our Facebook, our Instagram. That's kind of where we concentrate our efforts, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. So check that out. It's all on the front page of our website, hookup1090.com. And while we're on the website, I want to draw your attention to our store, which we have some great Aftco clothing on the store that's logoed with Let's Talk Hookup Embroidery. We have the MO1L short, the long short, which is more for the older guy like me.
Yeah.
With an embroidery with the Yellowtail logo or the tuna logo on there. And then, of course, those Aftco travel shirts. Man, those things are the most comfortable shirt to wear when you're traveling. Throw it in your bag. You can wrinkle it all up, and you pull it out, and it's not all wrinkled.
That is. That's a really comfortable shirt.
Yeah, those are all logoed on our store page of our website, hookup1090.com, including, I don't know if you got a chance to see that, Greg, we had engraved cedar plugs, custom engraved new cedar plugs with the Let's Talk Hookup logo on
I saw those the other day. I think that's a great idea.
They're so cool, and they're available now. For a limited time, we don't have very many of them. They're very, very custom on our website right now, hookup1090.com. Just go to the store page and get right there. So when we come back, we're going to talk more with Greg Stotesbury, more great Aftco information and more fishing information. Maybe we can even get some bass fishing techniques out of them. Stay tuned. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way right here on the Mighty 1090.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
It's time for our Power Pro 60-second seminar, your next fishing trip. If you're not getting the Power Pro advantage, you're missing out, right, Greg Stotesbury?
Absolutely. I don't have any of my tackle and spinning, especially, that doesn't have Power Pro braided line on it.
Yeah, does that include fresh and salt water?
Fresh
gear?
and salt water. The
Yeah.
stuff you can't beat it on spinning gear for casting and for ease of handling and everything else. I take, Power Pro and then put a little fluorocarbon leader header on it. It works perfect.
So I know you fish a lot of crawdads in the fresh water. What's the rig?
The basic rig for us is 10-pound Power Pro in the Super Slick.
10
or
pounds.
10 or 20 pounds.
You like the Super Slick?
I like the Super Slick because it casts really good, and then we put about 10 feet of 8, 10, or 12-pound fluorocarbon on the end of it with a number 4 or number 2 owner SSW hook, and have at it.
Have at it. And you feel the bites, right?
You feel the bites, and you cast farther. I mean, it's just, you can't beat it for casting, for handling. And, the line just, it holds up so well.
And on a spinning reel, it doesn't coil like monofin.
No coil whatsoever, which in turn makes it a lot easier to go through the guides and cast. So, yeah, we really like it for that.
There you go. Power Pro at your favorite tackle store. Check out PowerPro.com.
Here's important news from Searcher Sport Fishing. Our 2015 schedule is now available at SearcherSportFishing.com. This is Captain Art Taylor. After an outstanding 2014 season, I promise our trips will fill fast. The Searcher offers great service, awesome food, air-conditioned cabins, an RSW system to preserve your catch, and plenty of room at the rail. Call Celia at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403, or book online today at SearcherSportFishing.com.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
To a home run, Kemp again.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here, along with Greg Stotesbury from Aftco. Time to find out what's biting out there. And the catch report today is sponsored in part by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing. We saw it yesterday when we were down there. Complete saltwater tackle shop, full deli, man. The sandwiches and breakfast sandwiches there are fantastic. They have California Mexican license, trips and six-pack charters, including that new boat, Double Down. And when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle. They have a full line of freshwater tackle and live bait for a great day on the lake. That's Dana Landing right across from SeaWorld, next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay, and East County Bait and Tackle at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview in Lakeside. Check DanaLanding.com or EastCountyBaitandTackle.com and get ready for your fishing day at either one. Let's talk to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. Good morning, Woolley.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing terrific.
Good.
How's things?
Good. Hey, man, just coming off another solid week of fishing up here. Yeah. You know, the main focus for us still has been that yellowtail there at Fox Canyon. That stuff is still, it's just chewed all week. It is really, really good fishing here for us this week. Even with, I mean, there was a ton of boats on it all week, and yesterday I counted 110 skiffs in that little sector down there. I mean, it was packed. But even with that pressure, you know, that fish still bit really good. Just good signs still, too. You know, there's good schools of fish, you know, not just one single school that we're chasing around. There's multiple schools of fish. And the water there is still really nice. 61.8 yesterday, and it's clean and beautiful. There's plenty of feed for the fish down there, too. You know, anything from red crab, rockfish, sardine. I mean, it's all there to keep these fish in that sector. Some of the guys fishing bait this week, you know, did pretty good, but the yo-yo fishing has just been phenomenal. Really good fishing on the heavy jig there. The key to this fish here, for sure, is what we're telling our anglers. You have to come to the boat with the right gear. These fish are not line shy at all. Guys fishing 40, 50, 60-pound monofilament, no problem catching fish. 60 to 80-pound braid with a 40 to 50-pound leader or top shot, still no problem. You know, we've seen these fish exploit bad tackle and the wrong tackle. So
they'll rock you, right?
What's that?
They'll rock you.
They'll rock you, or they'll just, you know, you just won't stand a chance. They'll break you off before you even have a chance to, you know, get a turn on the handle there. So come prepared. You know, that's the key we saw this week. It was just guys with, you know, maybe trying to get in on the action without pulling all the line off their reel, and just, you know, just small common sense stuff can really make or break your day. So
when you say the heavy lure, what are you talking?
We're talking like the Caddy 4.0, Salas 6X, you know, just heavy jigs. We got guys catching them on the butterfly jigs, the flatfall jigs. They were biting anything in the water column, it seemed like, this week. So
gotta love it.
Yep, awesome. Phenomenal. So come prepared, call the landing, come by the boat, go to your tackle shop, figure out what you need to bring, just to bring multiple sinkers. You have to come prepared. You know, that's the name of the game. So we're online all week, 3/4 day fishing. We have boats down there this morning, keeping tabs on that fish as well. We got a halibut derby boat out as well today. That's almost some fun. So hopefully get a few more fish on that derby leaderboard. So if you guys want to get in on this, please call the landing. Certainly reservations definitely going to help you get on the boat. The phone number to the landing is 949-496-5794. You can check us out on the web at danawharf.com. And if you want to save some money on one of these trips, it's real simple. All you got to do is link us to the Let's Pocket Pickup webpage. They'll take you right over, and you can book with that discount code. And we want one of your listeners to come fishing with us this week, Pete. So why don't you throw a 3/4 day pass out there for one of the listeners?
Oh, that's fantastic. So a second winner there, 3/4 day trip aboard one of the Dana Wharf sport fishing boats. Which one will that be likely?
I'm running 3/4 day all week, so there's a good opportunity that'll be on board the Some Fun unless, you know, our reservation's booked up and we need to put another boat online.
Yeah, fantastic. Go catch a big fish with Captain Brian Woolley to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Thanks a lot for that, Captain Woolley, and fantastic fishing, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.
All right. Appreciate that very much. We're going to hear from Gundy Gunnison here later on, but in the meantime, you want to join us? All the lines are full, but keep on trying. 877-792-1090 or 858-457-1090. Let's jump back into the phones and talk to Hills calling us from Ventura. Good morning, Hills.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Pete and Greg. I'm surf fishing in Ventura right now, and the perch are really starting to bite.
Nice. That's good.
I wanted to offer up a surf fishing tip that the way I've been rigging the last couple of years has been working really good. I use the small Shimano, 4,000 size spinning reels with 20-pound Power Pro, but I did have the experience of almost getting spooled by some big sea bass using the Lucky Crab type lures, and when I had to button down because I was out of line, what I got back was a lure with no hooks on it. They straighten the split rings off it or straighten the hooks because the hooks are not real strong. It's freshwater bass lure.
Wow. Sure.
So now what I've done is I put on the bottom of my reel now I put some monofilament. So I put about 100 yards of 10-pound mono, and then I'll put my 20-pound Power Pro on top. So if I get near the bottom and I got to button it down, I'm going to have some stretch, and maybe I'll have a chance, man. I'm not going to lose a big sea bass
Oh, that's incredible.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good tip, Hills. Appreciate that very much.
Stuff.
Thanks a lot for the call. Let's go back up to on Northern Reaches there and to Carpinteria and talk to Lynn. Good morning, Lynn.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Doing great.
Good.
Hey, great show this morning. Love listening to you guys. First time, long time.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, so great summer of fishing. Boy, I went six for six over the summer on 4 different boats and just loaded up every time this year and wore our Aftco gear and loved it all summer long.
That's great. Thanks for that.
Yeah, and now getting ready to go to Puerto Vallarta for my first time. I've done a ton of 10-day trips and long range and been to Clarion and done all that. And one of my last trips of the summer, I was on the boat with Bruce.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah, Bruce
on
Smith.
the Fortune.
Yeah.
Fortune, and boy, I'll tell you what, man, that guy is so much fun to fish with.
Oh, he's fantastic.
GoPro footage and everything. We had a blast, and I had Fred and Erica, who are sponsored by Seeker, on the boat that trip, and so they invited me on this Seeker trip that we're going to be on the Maximus, and I am just looking forward to it. We're going February 5th.
Fantastic.
That'll be a great trip.
Yeah.
Keith's a great guy to fish with. That boat is a very fishy boat.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And it's funny, I was just over to barbecue last night, and one of my friends was asking me, hey, have you seen some of the new Aftco stuff? And so we went online and we were checking out the website, and then just driving one of my kids down to a baseball tournament this morning and flipped you guys on. And yeah, pretty ironic that you guys are on and talking about Aftco and everything. Had to get a good laugh in and try to call you guys.
Great. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Glad you're on the Aftco team there.
Yeah, good deal, Lynn. Hey, and good luck on your trip down in PV. Say hello to Keith on the Maximus and all the boys for us there. They're part of our pro staff and great friends and awesome fishermen. You'll have a good trip down there.
Have a great trip. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Let's continue our catch report today. Surf guru extraordinaire Gundy Gunderson. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, what's up, Greg?
Hey, good morning, Gundy. Good to hear from you.
How you guys doing today?
Well, very well.
Wish we were catching a big yellowtail right now, but we're going to do that later.
Hey, I got an exotic in my report. Here, let's start rolling here. Hook, line, and sinker reported an excellent cabezon bite in the rocks. It's been going on for several weeks now. Limit fishing, which is 3 cabezon right now. There's also some bass, some rockfish, calico bass, rockfish in the mix. You got to remember rockfish is closed right now. But some of the cabezon are pushing 5 pounds. Nice 3 to 4 pound average there. Rocky, kelpy areas there. That's the best. Easy perch limits. Goleta, East Beach up there. Gulp camo worms. And the bloody was really good. And then the catch of the week, Just Fishing in Redondo reported 18.5 pound striped bass taken on a Lucky Craft Flash minnow. I believe it was along Torrance Beach there. They were a little tight-lipped about where it was, but that little area there, the Redondo Canyon comes right up onto the beach there, and that's a really good place to find a striped bass anywhere along there. Go into that shop, Just Fishing, and they'll point you in the right direction. The stretch, let's see, Big Fish reported excellent perch action on the grub, motor oil, red flake, Christmas tree, root beer, all good colors for those guys there. Halibut bite picking up off Surfside, 72nd place. Belmont Shores, got a good report from river jetties, lots of halibut, new contours after these storms, so we got some good conditions. Lots of smelt and sardine inside, so the smelt sardine pattern, hard jerk baits have been the ticket. Hogan's reported good halibut action from Doheny to the pier. Nice sandbar form there at Doheny, good trench all the way down, ideal halibut conditions there. Smelt, sardine on the inside. Those guys throwing the spoon, the Castmaster was a hot jig this week, but I'm sure you can get them a number of different ways. Pacific Coast reported several legal halibut reported in the shop this week. 2 big fish were 12 pounds apiece, one taken on a live smelt, another on a live sardine. And with all the smelt inside, that live smelt is a good pattern right now to get a better fish. South Carlsbad, Ponto, Torrey Pines, all kicking out good fish. And then finally, they're starting to dredge Hediondo. It's been really slow in the lagoon. Big sandbars kind of pinched off the opening, so they got the dredge in there. And let me tell you, when they dredge, those dredges will kick up a lot of stuff off the bottom, worms, ghost shrimp, all that. And boy, it's really well worth. That's my tip of the week. Try to get down to that lagoon while that dredge is churning away and fish the worms, the ghost shrimp, some of that natural bait. And you'll get some nice fish right there. That really kicks up the feeding frenzy.
Good hint there, Gundy Gunderson, surf guru extraordinaire. Thanks a lot for that. And, of course, read Gundy's reports and information on all kinds of different things in Western Outdoor News. I saw a nice article that you wrote in this week's edition of Western Outdoor News, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Got a little smallmouth, largemouth piece coming out, too. So we're staying busy, Pete.
Attaboy. All right, Gundy, we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, have a good week.
All right, appreciate that. And be sure to check out this week's edition of Western Outdoor News with Gundy's article and more. Lots of good information about this amazing fishing we're having here in the dead of winter of Southern California. The yellowtail information. Of course, they've got great hunting and fishing. All in Western Outdoor News, this week's edition. Check it out. Let's go ahead and jump back in the phones and talk to Lou and Fillmore. Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Doing great.
Terrific.
Good day today.
I wanted to say thank you very much. About a year ago, I won the Socorro off of your show, the Socorro belt setup.
Yes.
Awesome. Hope you like it.
Oh, my God. I was on an 8-day. I always do an 8-day in the spring. And once the fish settled in, I don't know how you engineer those things, but it just locks right in place and makes for the most comfortable fish fight.
I really love it.
The key to that thing is just wearing it properly. If you wear it down low enough and have the harness attached properly, it's really easy to use.
Right, and the reason I wanted to ask was once it's set up and it's down low, it's absolutely phenomenal. I don't have hips, so to get it that low, it's like you're always holding it up. And so normally what I'll end up doing is kind of loosening it or have one of the deckhands loosen it to get it low enough when I get on something big enough to use it. But is that the proper position, like just below the crotch level?
Yeah, for the belt, really as practically low as you can fish it. In other words, if you can get it down across your thighs, that's ideal. And I know when I use it in combination with a Max Force 1 harness, that's our sit-in style, our heavy tackle harness there, I'll take and use the drop strap so that I can get the belt down really low and then have the harness positioned so that the grab handle in the back is right about at your where your belt loops would be on your pants. So you want it right at waist level, and then the bottom strap wants to be completely underneath your rear on the harness. Now, I'm talking about the harness, not the belt. And then you can suspend the belt from the harness using the drop straps, which is a great way to do it. It's a lot simpler, and it keeps the belt in the right position.
So the belt should be right on your on your thighs.
Across your thighs is where it's designed to go, because then you got big muscles there. That's an area that's designed to take a big load.
Yeah.
So if you have it down there, you're better off. If you have it up too high, then the whole geometry of the thing kind of works against you. If you get that pivot point down there on your thighs, the geometry forces most of the weight and the pressure onto your lower body, where you have bigger muscles and you can handle it better.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
That's a good. And what I would also suggest too, for those that are looking to fit into a harness, and Aftco ones are so lightweight, they're durable, they work, they're functional. Go to your local tackle store, try the Clarion and the Socorro, see which one fits you better.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, because for me, I have the Clarion, but the Socorro fit me better. It's more comfortable for me, but a lot of guys would feel that the Clarion, which is more designed for the bigger fish, is going to fit them better, right?
Yeah, they would. And, but one of the reasons why we make 3 sizes of belts is not just for tackle, but for different body sizes. I've got some guys that fish real heavy tackle, and they like the little Alejos belt. They don't want a big belt.
No.
They want a little tiny belt because they don't really care about that end of it, but they do most of the pulling with a harness. But that's a great question, and wish you a lot of luck with that there, Lou. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate that very much. And when we come back, more of your phone calls. We're going to hear from our lobster guru, Jim Salazar, and a lot more Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to hear, of course, from Dave Hansen with the FishDope.com report. Lots more coming up in the second hour of Let's Talk Hookup. Southern California sport fishing voice on the Mighty 1090.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day and a half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
For Rancho Leonero, here's John Ireland.
We're real proud of the food. The food is very good at the ranch. Jennifer and Jeannie is down at the ranch. We eat almost every meal in the ranch ourselves, so we're going to be the biggest critics for sure. It's like home, very much so. We make sushi for the guests if they catch tuna or dorado. We have a Rancho Leonero sushi that we put together with onions and chilies. It's just awesome that the guests really, really enjoy. And we'll also cook fish, too. We have a mesquite barbecue that's very flavorful. And that's going every night for whatever the regular entree we're serving. So we're cooking fish every night for guests. Nothing like having a fish that you caught the same day. I caught a big pargo the other day. We stuff them with onions, tomatoes, and all kinds of good stuff, and you'll always find one or two of those normally too. Because we're that size, we can serve a better quality meal as well. RanchoLeonero.com. It's very special.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the two best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com or ShogunSportFishing.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Aztecs.
What's that slam dunk? That's what I'm talking about.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish-finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
For Rancho Leonero, here's John Ireland.
At Rancho Leonero, very seldom are we going to send out any more than 15 or 20 boats at one time or one day. And because the ranch has two specific bait guys, everyone gets bait, everyone gets their boat. The stress level is way down at the ranch. We make it as easy as we can make it. From the meals right on down the line, very few decisions over the day. And, you know, we've got the Wi-Fi internet now, and everybody can get on if they want and access their email or not. We've been working on the ranch continually. You know, I did a $500,000 renovation, upgrading the hotel, the bar. So we're working at it. And the most important thing is just our guests and taking care of them. We really appreciate them. So every guest that comes through gets special attention. We make sure they do. We'll guarantee you the best Baja vacation possible. You're in my home, and I'll take good care of you. RanchoLeonero.com, old Baja style.
The offshore fishing last year was some of the best we've seen in years. Let's hope our luck keeps up in 2015. It's a brand new year, and what better way to kick off a new year than with a new Ford? Once again, Ford is America's favorite brand. Just take a look at last year's sales figures. It's right there in black and white. It's easy to see why Ford is so popular. Styling is contemporary, the technology is state-of-the-art, and the fuel economy is more impressive than ever. Fusion, Focus, and Escape continue to be San Diego favorites, and the new Mustang Mustang has the entire city buzzing. You've got to check it out. Right now, you'll find the biggest savings on F-150 pickups. The last of the 2014 models are going fast. And talk about popular, Ford F-Series has been America's best-selling truck and a favorite among fishermen for almost 4 decades. In fact, a new F-Series truck is sold every 43 seconds. Imagine catching a fish every 43 seconds. You'd be popular, too. Start the new year in style. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up.